your time this evening. So thank you so much for joining us. You are hopefully in the right place. This is a overview webinar of the Tableau Data Analytics Certificate that is in partnership with Pathstream and NYU Tandon. So we're really excited today to share with you more about the certificate so you can help decide whether this is the right option for you. So what we're going to discuss today are some brief introductions of who's presenting this material to you. We're going to talk a little bit about what Pathstream is and what your experience will be like in this certificate program. We'll also do a very brief demo of the platform so that you can see what that experience is going to look like for you as a student. And then we will do Q&A at the very end. So we ask that the best way for Q&A to happen is in the Q&A feature in Zoom. So please put any questions at any point in the presentation into the Q&A feature, and myself or Angie or Alexis will be sure to answer those questions. All right, so let's start with some introductions. Alexis, I'd love for you to introduce yourself first.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Alexis Seeley, and I'm the Director of Professional Education and Opportunity Programs at Tandon School of Engineering. I've been working in curriculum development and program design for about 20 years, and specifically thinking about integrating technology into curriculum. I've been with NYU for about 2 years now, and I build all kinds of programs and think about our partnerships around how we can deliver the best kind of programming for people at any point of their career. So whether you're fresh out of high school, finishing college, finishing a master's program, doing some upskilling and career development through executive education. So we have a new initiative that we're creating called the Collaborative Learning Institute, and it's really NYU's hub for kind of all of this non-credit professional learning and development. So I'm delighted to be here today, and I'm glad that you guys are interested in the class, and happy to answer any questions as we go forward. Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Alexis. All right. Quickly, my name is Angie Piser. I lead the learning design team at Pathstream, which means that I've worked very closely with various learning designers, including Angie, to build this certificate that we're going to talk about today. And so I am going to be presenting mostly about the curriculum and what that experience as a student will be like. Angie.
Thanks, Lauren. So hi, everyone. My name is Angie, and I also work at Pathstream, primarily focused on the design, creation, and overall delivery of the Tableau Data Analytics Certificate. So I have a background just leading the development and instruction of other types of data programs to various types of adult learners across other edtech companies. But overall, I'm really excited to walk you through the data cert in more detail and answer any questions you may have today. But for now, I'm going to pass it back to Lauren to cover more of today's deck.
Great, thank you. So let's dive into what Pathstream is. And to really kick off this section, Alexis is going to tell us a little bit more about why NYU Tandon has partnered with Pathstream for this program.
Sure. So assuming everyone knows all about Pathstream, they have developed a bunch of great programs with kind of leading software providers. And something that's been really important to us, as I said, that we're developing this Collaborative Learning Institute, and we really want to make programming and offer programming that's caters towards wherever people are on their learning journey. And we kind of were looking at different partners that we could partner with to collaborate with in order to offer programs that are very kind of intensive and very specific in skill sets. And that are very different from the other programs that we offer. And so we've had long conversations with Pathstream around what their curriculum was, and like looking at all of the curriculum and vetting it with our faculty and going through kind of a really intensive approval process. And at the end of that, we were super excited that kind of met and kind of exceeded a lot of our expectations in terms of what that class is. And since then, have had really great reviews from the faculty, our faculty that teach the content and teach the class and kind of serve as your mentors and kind of supervisors or kind of people giving you feedback, graders throughout the course. And so, we've been really happy with that and think the content is just like really fantastic. And so we partnered with Pathstream because they're pretty great, and we wanted to be part of that.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks, Alexis.
Sure.
So kind of wrapping up and summarizing some of the things that Alexis said, we are building digital skills curriculum. And these digital skills are all over the jobs that you see today, right? So 80% of middle skills jobs are digitally intensive, which means that they require a baseline set of software skills and technical skills to be successful in that role. And so when you think about these jobs that are requiring these digital skills, they're giving you greater opportunity for career advancement, and they also pay more, right, than non-digital jobs. And so we have worked with NYU to offer a couple of different programs, but today's session is focused on the Tableau Data and Analytics Certificate, which obviously is teaching you the really critical digital skills of SQL, Tableau, and spreadsheets, which we're going to get into today. So the way that you will learn this program is through our custom online learning platform. So what that means is that you're going to go into the Pathstream platform, which is where all of your learning material will live. And in that platform, you're going to be able to use SQL, spreadsheets, and Tableau to actually learn the content. So you're not going to be just watching videos or just reading. You're actually going to be also applying what you learned in our hands-on labs environment, which actually opens up, and I'll show you this today, which opens up the technical platform and allows you to do projects and activities inside the technical tool that you'll need to use on the job. You'll also have an instructor that's sitting alongside you. They're not lecturing to you every week, which is what we're going to talk about today, but they're there for you. They're providing personalized feedback on your projects, and they're really your biggest supporter. This certificate today is 3 courses. And these 3 courses are going to prepare you for a growing career area, right? Which is data analytics. And after this program, you will earn a certificate from the NYU Tandon School of Engineering. And you will also get a set of career services at the end of this program that will help you to place into that position that you're looking for at no additional cost. So let's double click on these career services that I mentioned. Throughout the course, you will be able to opt into a weekly email of job postings that are specific to data analytics. And so these will be in your inbox every week. You will also notice that the content is geared towards career placement, right? We are always telling you in the content why you're learning what you're learning and how you will apply it on the job. When you get to the final course in the program, that's when things get more personalized. So in the final course, you're going to meet with your one-on-one career coach, and you're going to go through LinkedIn review, resume review. You're going to create a job search plan. You'll also have access to mock interviews where you can practice your technical skills in a practice environment. And we're really going to help to refer you to some of our employers, some of our recruiters, and set you up for success in the job search. So I'm going to hand it over to Angie to discuss exactly what you're going to cover in the data analytics certificate.
Thanks, Lauren. So this program was built in collaboration with Tableau. And for those of you that don't know, Tableau is an interactive data visualization software company. It is currently one of the most powerful data viz tools in the analytics industry, which makes the certificate's alignment with preparing you for this actual role extra exciting and more hands-on. Next slide, please. Thank you. So as mentioned previously, we've partnered with Tableau because they're committed to increasing education on data analytics and how to use their platform. And you'll learn foundational skills and get to practice using Tableau without any licensing fees. As Lauren mentioned earlier, the content itself is hosted online using our custom online learning platform, where you'll learn these real industry tools such as Tableau, SQL, and spreadsheet software. And so the image you see here, and then also images you'll see sprinkled throughout this deck are actual glimpses of the tools you'd see in the labs you do throughout your experience in this certificate. Everything from the examples in the lessons to the projects and the courses are based in real in the job scenarios. So we're always trying to simulate that real analyst experience, almost like a 2-in-1. And after you've completed a course, your projects can be used to build a portfolio to showcase those skills to future employers. And those have actually helped our students land their jobs as analysts. Perfect. So these are the actual learning outcomes from like what you'd accomplish in each course. And I'm not going to go into each one in detail, but overall there are 3 courses in the certificate. Course 1 is Business Analytics Fundamentals, which primarily focuses on using spreadsheet software, Google Sheets, to manipulate data to perform an exploratory data analysis. And before that, you learn how to frame a business problem through this case study, take that, go through, manipulate that data, and then communicate what you find to the appropriate stakeholders. So really, it's almost like this end-to-end experience. Course 2, SQL for Analytics, we use MySQL Workbench, and you'll apply everything from DDL, data definition language, to DML, data manipulation language, which you'll learn all about in the course itself, but really preparing you for the type of queries you would be performing as an analyst. And then the final course, the Data Visualization Foundations, that's where you'll learn Tableau itself, specifically Tableau Desktop. And you'll learn everything from foundational visualizations to dashboards, stories, and performance optimization, which are a little bit more advanced topics. So really, I like to call it the trifecta of like analyst skills, because you get a little bit of everything of like what you'd really need to become a data analyst. Great. So let's talk a little bit more about the specific careers that this program is going to prepare you for. So it's really geared towards preparing you for a data analyst or business analyst role, but it essentially teaches you all the foundational skills you'll need for any type of analyst role, such as a marketing analyst, a product analyst, a healthcare analyst, you name it. So we do have a lot of different types of students coming into this program that might be pursuing different things. So for example, you may be pursuing an entry-level job or an internship. Maybe you're coming in with no experience and you're starting from the beginning and career changing. You might be in a career that already uses data analytics and you're looking for some program to get some sort of promotion to currently upskill and take on more responsibilities. This would be that type of program to do so. Additionally, we also prepare you for industry certificate exams separate from Pathstream, offered by Tableau themselves by taking our courses. These are the Tableau Desktop Specialist and Tableau Desktop Certified Associate exams. This type of Tableau certification can catch the eyes of hiring managers and can open many doors, especially if you want to be a little bit more Tableau specific as an analyst.
So just to, at this point in the presentation, we generally get some questions over like, okay, what are the details of this program? So let's go into depth on this a little bit more. So there are 3 courses, as we mentioned, and they are a total of 21 weeks for all 3 of the courses. So you will be done with this program in 21 weeks. It's made up of 3 courses that we are going to give you a schedule for. So we are going to say to you, hey, we recommend that you do these sections and these projects this week, but it's completely up to you when you go and do those lectures and those readings and those activities. So you can do that on Saturdays and Sundays. You can do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what we mean when we say there that this program is flexibly paced, right? Because we know you have other responsibilities. If you don't have other responsibilities and right now you just want to learn, you can speed up the pace of the program. Your instructor is there to support you by answering questions, grading your projects, and just holding, live sessions for office hours, what we call office hours, where you can meet with them to ask questions in a live setting or also in an email setting. So that's really the role of the instructor. As I said, they're not providing a lecture time that you have to log in for. That's all inside of the Pathstream platform. And after this program, as we mentioned earlier, you will earn a certificate from the NYU Tandon School of Engineering. So that's kind of what you get coming out of this experience. So I like to share a couple of testimonials of students that have taken this program before you. So students, you can see here, really enjoy the labs environment, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. This is where you're going to do the hands-on practice for the different tools that you'll use as a data analyst. This platform is one in which you learn something and then you directly apply what you learned in an activity. And that's very helpful when you're trying to acquire new skills, because we can't just sit back and expect to remember it. We need to apply our knowledge right away. And so Pathstream is built, that's one of the premises that Pathstream is built on. So what I want to do now is I want to show you all a very quick demo, or just kind of showcase of what the platform will look like as a student coming in. So I'm going to switch up my screen here. And so what you see right here is the SQL for Analytics course. So this is the second course, and you will have 6 weeks plus a little extra week to do this program. So that'll be a 7-week period where you get to navigate this one course. And so you can see that the program, the course here, is divided into sections. So this is section 2, section 3. And let's say your instructor may recommend that, okay, this week you're going to focus on section 2 and section 3. But again, it's up to you when you go into the platform and do that work. So let's take a look at one of these lessons in here. This is one of the lessons within the second section. And it's about MySQL Workbench, which is the first introduction to this MySQL tool that you're going to use throughout this course, right? So this is early on in the learning experience. But what you'll see here there's text, there's some videos below that I'll show you, but there's what we call a knowledge check right away, which is a really brief opportunity for you to test your knowledge and see kind of whether you retain something, answer the question, get the right answer, and an explanation for the right answer. So it's a very interactive experience. There are short videos here. You can download these. You can watch them right in the platform, but they give you kind of the visual explanation of a lot of the things that you're going to learn. There are interactive visuals that you can use to really understand the different aspects of being a data analyst. And when you get down to the last part of this particular lesson is what we call a Pathstream lab. So you'll see there's a button to launch the lab right here. And I already have this kind of queued up and teed up for you. But if you go right here, you'll see that what this is a Pathstream lab. So on the right-hand side is your unique instance of MySQL Workbench. So by pressing a button, I literally pulled this interface up. I didn't have to log into MySQL Workbench. I didn't have to download it from the internet. It's right here on my computer. And you can manipulate this on the right-hand side. You can type things, you can do anything you want to this side of the interface. And on the left-hand side are a set of instructions. Okay, and these instructions are helping you to navigate the right-hand side of the screen, which is sort of like your drawing space, your working space. And so on the left-hand side, there are images, there are knowledge check questions, there are various instruction here for you to do, so you're learning on the job, right? You're learning while you're going through this. When this is also the same interface as you will complete your projects. So there are no big tests that you have to take in this course. This course is based on projects. And so this is the same interface. You'll do those projects and you'll see a button at the bottom that says submit, and you'll send your assignment, right, which is everything on the right-hand side, directly to your instructor for grading. So it's this really seamless way to integrate the learning experience into the classroom in a way that mirrors what happens on the job. So this is just a small snapshot of what this experience looks like, but I want to return to our presentation and kind of wrap up with a couple of final slides that I think will help you to kind of wrap this experience up here, and then we will absolutely take any questions that you have. So get those ready to put in the Q&A. So before we get here, this is kind of the many of the common FAQs that we see from students. So if you've got a question that's on here, great. If you've got a different question, put it in the Q&A. But the total cost of the program is $24.99, and you can pay in full for a $100 discount or using one of the 12-month plans that we have that are 0% interest. And so this cost is going to give you the full 3-course experience as well as the career services that we discussed. Many of our students, they seek reimbursement from their employer because their employer offers them education benefits. Even if your current employer doesn't have a stated policy on this, we always recommend you ask, right? Maybe they're thinking of employing one. Maybe they do it with sort of at an ad hoc basis. But if you're employed, always ask your manager if this is something that a portion of it could be potentially reimbursed. And after this webinar, you will receive an email with all of this information. Another common question that we get a lot is, how much time should I spend working on this course every week, right? We know you've got a part-time job, a full-time job, a family. There's a lot of commitments in your life, right? So we really have designed this program for working adults, and you should expect to spend 15 hours a week learning on Pathstream throughout this experience, throughout the 21 weeks. Because you are trying to change your career, right? You're trying to really do that upward trajectory, and that does take time. So we want to make sure you have time to digest this information, and that's really, we think, taking about 15 hours a week. Some students spend a little bit more, some students spend a little bit less. And the final question we often get is, are there any prerequisites? Meaning, is there anything you have to know before you come into this program? And the answer is no. You don't need to know what data analysis is or what SQL or spreadsheets is, but we expect and we hope that you have a high school degree or equivalent, and you have some comfort with some high school level math and statistics, because these are some of the concepts that are taught in the program. So if you have that familiarity, it's going to make it a much easier transition for you. But you don't have to know what SQL is or how to even use SQL. All of that is covered in the course experience. So if you're curious when the next program is being offered, we are going to start another program on September 28th. So we hope that you're interested, and I'm going to turn to questions in a second. But if you want to email somebody specifically, NYU_certificates@pathstream.com is where you should go. But after this program, you will definitely get an email from us with all this information. So let me give everybody a minute to kind of organize themselves around any questions that you have. There's nothing too big or too small. We are here to answer any of your questions about the content or about how you will learn. So I'll give you all a couple of moments to get those questions in if you have any. Angie, while we're waiting for any questions, I know that you have been in touch with a lot of our graduates and our students about where they're getting jobs. So I thought you could share a little bit about some of the companies that our students are getting placed in.
Yeah, I could share both where they're getting placed in and then where they're getting interviews. Students are getting placed in large companies and like smaller startup nonprofits also. I think one of our most recent students, I believe it was from NYU. Lauren, you can correct me on that. It was Bloomberg. One of the best things about like the NYU Pathstream partnership is NYU. Really good name when like you put it on your resume. And so when you finish like the certificate and it's NYU branded, it opens up a lot more doors from what we've seen. So yeah, students are getting a lot more jobs. We've had students be able to place jobs in like Yelp. They've gotten like interviews at New York Times. All for analyst roles. These are all like from students who haven't had prior analyst experience. So it's really exciting to see them be able to transition with the help of the certificate and a little bit of career services. So highly encourage career services as well.
So Angie, we got a couple questions coming in. I encourage more and others, but one of the questions was whether you have any recommendations for how to prepare for the program. So any maybe like general topics to try to cover in videos online or in readings before starting the program if you want to be prepared, extra prepared.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So what we've seen students struggle with the most when coming into the program, if they've never had experience with, is like spreadsheet software. So this may be like Excel or Google Sheets. Not necessarily like if you've never had SQL or like Tableau experience, like that's fine. We definitely start from zero there. But if you've never had any, let's say, spreadsheet software experience, we definitely recommend a little bit of exposure there. Also, we really do recommend like the high school equivalent in some sort of stats or math. And we have some specific links on that, Lauren. I don't know how we can give people.
Yeah, so if you have some specific questions, like you're like, I would like a link on Excel or spreadsheets or stats, this website or this email address is a great place to go, NYU_certificates, and we can send that to you so that you have kind of the list from us.
Yeah, we have a whole list of like recommended sites we have beforehand, but really where we've seen people struggle the most is definitely if they've never like touched like Google Sheets or Excel before, or if they really haven't had any prior experience in math. They're a little bit rusty when it comes to that. And really it's just refreshing a little bit on like fractions or very basic like charts, being able to read those. So it's not anything super advanced.
Yep. Thank you, Angie. So there's another good question that came in, one about what sets this program apart and one about the typical cohort size. And do you know how many students stay in the program from start to finish versus not completing? Yes, these are great questions. So the typical, I mean, Alexis, I think you can maybe tell us a little bit more about the typical size of the cohort at NYU.
Sure. Well, I think that, starting off, I think that the thing that sets this program apart from some of the other programs is that, you're working with NYU instructors, you're working with people that are based in New York and that are kind of working in the industry. And so, you have the affiliation and the support of NYU while also working with people that are, at agencies or, work at, have this job in their lives. And so they're adjunct professors. So they're really doing their teaching and kind of real life experience and then kind of give you that advice or kind of can talk to you about where you might be, what industry you're looking for, and then be able to kind of guide you through that. The class size for Tableau, we are for the that's the maximum of 35 per cohort for this next run. And so, the instructor, you'll get to know the instructor. There are weekly office hours that we highly encourage everyone to attend. I think that with asynchronous content and online content, a lot of the experiences is very much like you get out of it what you put in. And so the success rate that we've seen, like everyone that's involved from the beginning, that kind of sets up that office hours, that kind of stays engaged, they're much more likely to finish and do really well. And so there we see a direct correlation to all of that. Yeah, so I think that was, did I miss one?
No, that's great. That's perfect. And I was just going to add on to the question about what sets this program apart. I would say that the fact that this program is really sticking with you until you get your job is a real differentiator, right? We're not going to just leave you at the end of this program and say, okay, good luck now trying to get a job. We work with you on your resume, your LinkedIn. We give you additional content on how to prepare for technical interviews, which is a really big part of the placement process. So this is a really exceptional program from that standpoint. And also the fact that you are learning with an instructor, right? A lot of online courses, they might have the same information as we're giving you, but you have to get up every day, navigate yourself, answer your own questions, do all of that work. And for a lot of students, what they need is a more supported environment, right? That is going to be instructor led, that's going going to be answering their questions and helping them get unstuck, because learning is a very lonely experience, especially online. And so to be paired with that instructor and a cohort of other students is a huge differentiator. So just checking our time here. I want to give anybody a very last minute opportunity to ask a question. We want to be here for you to make sure everything gets answered. So I'll give you another couple of moments to see if there's anything that comes up. But I will also put this slide up again with the email address that you can reach us at, as well as the start date, which is September 28th. But we are really excited to hopefully see you in a classroom sometime soon. It looks like there are no remaining open questions, but I will stay on for a couple more minutes if any questions come through. But it's been wonderful to chat with you all, and I'll let you all get back to your evening. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. I will stay on for a couple minutes to get any questions answered. Thank you, Julie. Thanks, Joyce. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Leah. Glad that you were able to make it. Thanks, Giovanni. Have a good night. All right, looks like we're wrapped up just about. So I will let the panelists go, but thank you guys for your participation, and we will see y'all soon.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.